Okay, this is my second attempt in making this video. If you look at the cover of my video, it's an interesting picture. It's like a vein, like a bunch of veins on my forehead. This is like my forehead that you see. The veins are all around my face, like all around my forehead. And that happens usually when they're making me experience something disgusting in my brain. And I'm trying to block it out. And I'm trying to stop what they're making me experience because it's nasty. And my body, literally, my face is reacting to it. It's I'm reacting to the implantation of whatever disturbingness they're implanting. When I try to like stop, my vein just like it's just like just I don't know if it's my brain trying to react to those implantation via these waves. I don't know the specifics, but one thing I can tell for sure is I'm reacting to those manipulations when I'm not wanting to go along with it. It's it's like I'm literally reacting to that. Um, like I said, I'm a target individual, and I'm a target individual who's dealing with this V2K and synthetic telepathy. And what you're saying there was me trying to like somehow block out what they were trying to implant in my brain. Of course, I can do that. You have to deal with this disturbing implantation. You have to experience it. But this the reason why they, what they're trying to do is to try to make it seem like it's something that you experience naturally, but you know your brain is literally being forced to experience that. It's so nasty. Um, when I was making the first part of this video, I was trying to. I heard somebody just scream. I don't know if they were just trying to disturb me. Yes, actually, I know they were trying to disturb me, but they then made me think that that's the kind of scream I will have to experience. I will experience because they will torture me. The reason why I think the torture is at this point very much needed for them is for one, I think they think that the pain is going to help make me accept these manipulations. Because the scripts, the gimmicks, there's somebody in the hallway screaming, walking, talking, making noise, try to make me subscribe to that. I'm supposed to be agitated and acceptive of this. The repetitions, the psyops, they open, it's like, oh, you are, and they go back. When that, it can agitate me every once in a while. But I've been consistent saying that these gimmicks that they have, these ways of trying to present themselves, I'm not subscribing. I know your job. They try to use different tonality when they try to do these things. When they make me experience something and they're like, oh, you are. We mapped it. We are now. Like, whatever's in different tones, and it's just like the psyop is not working. I know this is a government-led program. You guys manipulate people in these disturbing ways, and you try to gaslight them, try to make them accept these manipulations. You do everything possible to make it seem that this experience is somehow something they should subscribe to, and it's not a manipulation. And if it's a manipulation, it's a manipulation that we somehow mapped it, and that means that we just make you experience something that you experience, and this experience is right. That's what they try to. They try to make logic out of something that is obvious, illogical, or try to make you believe that you should accept this logic that they have, this retardation. As I say logic, they're gonna try to change it to something else. That you should subscribe to a logic, to a rationale that is just illogical and irrational, but not just irrational, but it still proves your point that you are manipulating me. You making me experience something that if I was not being manipulated, I would not experience. So my experience right now is not a natural, organic experience. It's an experience that's being created by this technology that can make you experience whatever they want you to experience. they try to say that we're making you experience something that you would have experienced at some point of your life. We're just mapping and we're making you experience, we're connecting to something you've experienced. We're making you feel something you felt before. But that means that you are manipulating me to experience something that I wouldn't experience naturally. Because you are putting things that I've experienced in the past, but I'm not experiencing currently. But I'm experiencing currently because you're making me experience it because you've manipulated me. In every way they try to make you think of it, it's just them saying that they're manipulating you. And then when you put these things in perspective, oh, they're insane, they're gonna kill you, they're gonna do it. Divergent, pure gaslighting methods to try to diverge from the reality that this trash forced you to experience things that are so disturbing. And the logic is even more disturbing. And then try to create these dialogues. Now, these trash are not special. They're not monsters. You know, you've seen some of these pictures. It's just nobodies. The government contract. And I think the government likes to utilize people who have a sense of no self-respect in a sense. Because it's humiliating. Me saying this is humiliating because I'm putting things in perspective. You know what they say to respond to that? Because the humiliation is so strong. He will stab you. This is a childlike individual who's trying to find ways to still feel strength. Because I'm calling out that they have these patterns of manipulating people in these disturbing pedophilia ways, and it's obvious, even when they try to be logical. And so me, who accept and understand what this program is about, have no problem being stabbed. I don't want to be stabbed, but honestly, being stabbed is a much better life than doing what you do. Your job is to try to manipulate people in these disturbing ways, which I'm going to talk about, and then use this retardation of logic in your dedicated life that you have to do that. These trash have no idea what's going to happen to them. One thing I've learned in this as a target individual, they can do so much to us, these nobodies. But the fact they have no idea of what to expect in their life is so magical. It is so, this is beyond magical. All the childlike ways they've been trying to talk to you and agitate you, they'll stab you. Yeah. And we framed you, and we implanted child porn. All these things. This person talking to me, she has zero idea what's going to happen to her. Please understand that I know these people interacting with me are just the nobodies. They can use any tonality they want. This person who just said what you just heard me say, one of those who have said one of those things I've said, have zero idea of whatever is going to happen to her. She knows everything I'm going to say, but zero idea of what's going to happen to her. Now imagine you trade a place with her. These are not people who live in they're not the creme de la creme. They're not the elite of the elites. These are the bottom feeders. Right? The satisfaction of this person who's like, well, you will see, you're going to be screaming. It's like, you can't even say Roy Moore. These people are bottom feeders. Their job, their sign is to agitate you as they do these pedophilia things. As they try to manipulate you in these disturbing ways. As they watch you slowly break down, their job is to watch you doing that, like slowly happen. They are the nothings. And that is magical for me. Because what I'm going to tell you is the disturbingness that I experienced a while ago that they're bringing up now. You gotta understand, everything I've experienced has been validated by others. They do this pedophilia type of torture. It can make you have these intense sexual stimulations, and they're so disturbing. That's when you saw the vein coming up. Because they're bringing up something they've done to me before. If you see in my early videos, the background was different. It was not like a wall like this. It's a wall with different, like, color. That's when I started making videos. That was about a year after, or a little less than a year after I became a target individual who dealt with V2K. I was a target individual before that, but when V2K kicked in, that's when everything kind of truly changed in me. Truly changed who I am, no longer in myself. And so I remember going through an Instagram. I followed this DJ, this woman who's a DJ, a Brazilian woman, very good looking woman, very, good looking woman, and she has videos where she does dancing, and I think she's a musician too, and I guess there was like a challenge where the people were sending her challenge of dancing, right? And it's kind of like, sexual. They dance a little bit, and it's like how things are with the challenges. And there's one video, and as I'm even saying that, they start warming my private areas to try to stimulate me. That's how disgusting they are. Because one of the videos, like a 12-year-old girl and like an older guy, and they're dancing and it's like like kind of how like these new dances are in this thing. So like on camera, trying to be synchronized, and they have this like moves together. But the dance is a little sexual too. So this kid is trying to dance in a sexual way. She got like shorts, trying to be like in a sexual, like it's like a kid. There's like nothing. There's nothing close to a woman about her. A baby, 12 years old. I said, like a true, like a kid. They gave me a sexual stimulation. A sexual stimulation that was so foul. It was an intense. I could feel the warmth in my brain and everything else. And I remember I was there, mind you, at the time that I even had roommates. Now, like, matter of fact, I heard a next door purpose, like, oh, we're there, boom, making noise campaign and everything else. By the way, they're saying they're there to implant child porn. That's they're there. You gotta understand, these are the people working for governmental entities filled with pedophiles. That's they're there. That's the fierceness. And by the way, we just heard mass shooting not happening not too long ago, maybe a week or so. We're talking about this trash. So I'm forced to get sexual stimulations. And it's disturbing sexual stimulation. Oh my gosh. And then they try to say, no, we mapped it. Don't you remember you felt like that? Then try to make me feel like when I was like the same age of this girl, like 5 years old, and 5 years old, five in 5th grade, when I was 12 or so. No, man, not even 12, 11 or so. 11 or so, right? And they tried to disorient me, and they were giving me this feeling. And it's like, no, you feel like that. I remember this girl called Leticia. Leticia was a classmate of mine when I was in 5th grade. And tried to say, you see, we kind of mapped it to that girl when you're in 5th grade. That's she, and give me the stimulation and try to create something that they make me think that I felt when I was like in 5th grade when I was with this girl my age. And so we mapped it. So nice. They give me this like feeling of like, they give you this sexual feeling that's so disturbing. And it's what they do. And then they go into like my brain. It's like, oh, you think she's sexist? No, you give me this sexual feeling. And this kid is like dressed in like like she's a kid, but still dressed like in a little listen to how they make me try to speak in a sexual way, and try to dance in a sexual. But it's a kid at the end of the day, so you naturally be like, whatever, this kid can dance however this kid dances. It will do nothing to me. It would be like just a kid dancing in this way. So it's just, but when they're in your brain, the way they can make you perceive things and react to things, it's different. You get an intense feeling. It's an intense sexual feeling that's disturbing. And I was like so disturbed. Like, oh my gosh, it was so foul. I tried, and at the time I didn't learn my lesson. I was like, I can see this normally, and I could try to look at it again. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so disgusting. Let me try. I would try to look at this thing without getting the feelings, thinking that I have some control over that, not knowing that these people obviously can turn it on, turn it off, do whenever they play with you. They are controlling every reaction that you have, and it's been this disgusting feelings. And it's funny, my brain, they make me think, because one of this is not, it didn't happen only once, because she will have that in her stories. So when you go through her story, she will show like the different people. And then I think one of the dances, she's doing something, and I think she tried to do this thing on the wall or something. It was like, oh my gosh, and I kept changing, like I went to something else. But try to make me accept these stimulations. It's so nasty. It's so foul. And they will then have this interaction in my brain. It's like, oh, you think she's pretty? Oh, she's beautiful, huh? She's like, oh, she's a kid. She's a child. Like, what the hell? And then in my head, they'll have this dialogue, but if you're her age, you'll be like into her. It's like, oh my gosh. Try to get you to think in this level. And then they go to, oh no, but maybe if, like maybe when she grows up, she's a potential to look. It's like, why would I care about what she look when she grows up? Who is she to me? Who is she? It's just a kid dancing. Like, when she grows up, who would I care about what she looks when she grows up? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Trying to get you to think about this kid in a way to make you subscribe to these manipulations that they make you experience. And then using all kind of ways to gaslight you to accepting these things. It's nasty. It's nasty. This video, I'm sure I can bring it up, and this person, this DJ, I'm still friend with the DJ of this Brazilian DJ. I'm still, but I try to like, okay, let me see if I can make a video about this and show in the video I'm talking about. We'll have like a blur version of it. I go on the video on her Instagram of this DJ. They were stimulating me, and I know what they were trying to do. They kind of crank up your libido in advance. They crank it on other things. Like, and this woman is a woman that can easily crank up my libido on, because even naturally, I would see this woman as a good-looking woman. She has curves and everything. It's like, I mean, it's just like abnormally good-looking. It's not even like, and they try to make me think of some trash. They want to make me imagine that there was this trash that in the elevator that they tried to make me have some kind of thing, which it was manipulated. I was like, no, this is not good looking. This is just, I mean, good for her, but it's not good looking, as in this DJ is good looking, and I'm talking about obviously way above my but I'm talking about like, and plastic surgery level. And so is the I was trying to get to that video. I was like, I couldn't even get to it. They're stimulating me so much now. So when I get to that video where there's a kid, they're gonna crank up even more. That is the pedophilia things they do. It is nasty. And this is what we have to deal with. And my brain, they're trying to play with it in different ways, changing like this. This is it will never. I will never feel this way. I will never naturally experience what you're making me experience. And then now they try to make me imagine her legs, because try to give her some. It is disgusting. And then they try to make me imagine that they're gonna implant child porn. And just try to make me imagine this kid, because in this video, this kid is dancing in somewhat, it's in a sexual. She's like dancing, grinding, like not grinding, but she's like, it's by herself, like and doing this like things where like like dancing in a little sexual way, because that's the part of the challenge. But it's a child at the end of the day. You still see her as a child, but them they try to use that, the way she even dances, to try to create sexual thoughts and perceptions and reactions. And try to gaslight you is like, yes, you guys do these nasty things. You force that on adult men and women, and your job, that's your job. That's your, before you die. You know, they are so dedicated in my death, in my torment, in my torture. And I'm so glad that they dedicate their life in this. Because their death is unknown. They don't know when the day comes for them. These people they can die like this. We'll not talk about the elites, but if the thing is, I have to remind myself, these people are nobodies. They can replace them by a million of them. They can, today, this place, somebody can come and shoot. They'll be replaced in like it's nothing. I will not even miss, nothing will be missed here. So I have to remind myself, these people are just the nothings. They're going to slam the doors. They're going to repeat this thing. Even hear them talk. Like, when you see them in person, it's even more of a nothing. Like, that's when you're like, oh my gosh. But for me, I have a little dignity now that I will never have. It gives me a dignity. Because, yes, these disturbing things that I experience is disgusting. It's not me. I will not experience it. I will not experience this reaction, but I'm experiencing now because they can manipulate me to experience whatever they want. But having that strength of knowing that, man, that it takes us some strength to deal with this. These people, look at them. Listen, they're not that much different from me when I'm looking at everything else. They're not monsters coming. They're just everyday people. What if I ended up doing what they do? I could have been this trash. I could be the one talking my MIB. No, we mapped it. That's what it sounds like when they talk to me via V2K. And then saying things that is torturous things. He's going to stretch you. Like, imagine my life on earth. Alive and able. I was supposed to say, like, I said things like that. I said, we are war. Like, this is that my mind is like, thank you. For that, God, I need to thank you. For that. It's simple. It is base. It's just weak. It doesn't take anything but pure cowardness, which is easy to acquire. It's just the cowardly life, the foulness, everything. And then on top of that, you have a bunch of other people doing that with you. So it makes it even easier to do it. This is truly the easiest thing to do. A lot of it can be even, this technology is so sophisticated that you're basically directed. I could have easily been, at first I was like, I could never, I could never, not even, I could not seem, I could never be, I could never do this thing. But I'm thinking about it. If everybody around me did it, if my family members did it, if my mother was doing it, if my father was doing it, and they wanted me to involve myself, how strong would I be? How strong would I be? I was like, thank God I don't have to find that out. Would I be strong enough to be like, nah, nah, this is too low. I'm not gonna do it. But if everybody else is doing it, is that easy? You're a winner. Everything that you can, this is easy. This guy, we just, everything does itself, is automated. It's that easy. Like, would I be strong enough to say no to that? I don't know. But I'm so thankful. Thankful that I never had even the opportunity to do that. That's a blessing on its own. Do you know how they're trying to counter this in my mind? Because I said this, and you gotta understand how they dumb us down to create these ways of thinking. Because I said, that I could never experience this reaction naturally because I know myself. And they're saying, but you also said that you could never, you if you're asked to put in this program, to do this thing in this program, you could never accept to do that. But now you're looking at it and you see, you're thinking twice about it. Maybe you could, you see? So just like that. That is how the brain is being manipulated. And this is a trash outside who I'm thankful to God I never had the opportunity to do these things. That's bringing their child to make noise campaign because they want to box in these ways of be illogical in every ways. I was talking to this person in the car. He was a perp, but he's trying to be all like spiritual and faithful. But I saw like, at the end of the day, let me speak through you, to speak to you the way you want me, like so you can hear me. One thing I was saying is like, you have to like, you know when something is off. You truly, one thing I look back is like, when something's off. You know when something is just, you shouldn't be doing that. Truly, as easy as it is, either something tells you like, these people, they know. And that's what makes them more angry. If the feeling is too strong, like it's just like you're so foul, you're so wrong. Oh my gosh, that's when they do more noise campaign. You can see being more agitated, feeling uncomfortable. Just like you can see acting in certain ways. They slam the door a little harder. They say something and then they change their voices. Oh, we don't care. It's you. Like you can see, like actually, it sounds like you care more, right? And you see them trying even more, or even try to make it seem like it didn't. It's boring. Or you see them walking around in a certain way, looking at their phone even more closer. It's like, and I'm like, in every ways, I hope they continue to ignore that feeling as long as you can. Ignore that feeling, burn that feeling. Just it's not used for you. It's not. I mean that with the utmost mean-spirited target individual. We are lucky in one way. Now, with that being said, people who are trying to, first of all, convince you, make you subscriptive of these things, then being humiliated by reality in every ways. They try to gaslight you. You're like, oh, you can, okay, not going to work out. This is not going to work. You trying to make me accept this? No. Right now, you just even try to block out the fact that this mass shooter can actually be a target individual who killed 18 people. Now you have that feeling you try to shake off. I mean, like, so you can imagine what I'm going to experience. My psyops were people who, the psyop of the perps I'm experiencing, they wanted to play this like fierce, femme fatale. They're mapping. They are looking at it. They are just figuring out. They're investigating in this. It's their money. And every ways they've been the reality of what they are part of, who's running this program, what's wrong with these people in this program, these tactics that have been used on so many others that say the same exact thing. It's just it's crazy. It's surreal. Somebody who literally say, like, when I hear what I'm like, it's just. And you see how sophisticated this technology is because your brain being manipulated as it is. The brain tries to, they use your brain to block that out. Oh, this is making, like, for example, there's a testimony of this woman. She says when she was like brushing her dog or petting her dog, she started feeling a weird sensation, a weird stimulation. It's just a weird feeling. And that kept going. It's like, whoa, what's that weird feeling? It's like a sexual feeling. And she She's like, start laughing. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm not. You guys are disgusting. Or start like, oh my, I'm not. You guys are not going to. It's not going to face me. Whatever. Haha. She laughs. Right. She's laughing because it's like this is child. Like you a dog. And then they start doing that stimulation, and start aiming toward people. You say young people, children, even homosexuals. They do whatever that can make you feel degrading. I guess for her, the stimulation to a homosexual is something that can makes her feel, degrading. They try to do this initially, but I'm like, oh, whatever. That's not what I'm going. I'm not going to lose my mind over that. And she keeps talking about how they can give her these arousals and things. So it's like, does it not sound like what I'm saying? But for me, it's like, oh, but they didn't say the map. Don't you feel like you felt like that in fifth grade? Didn't you feel like with the Leticia? You see, we mapped it. And the thoughts, somebody saying, having me manipulate my thoughts to have this pedophilia, like everything. Creating some mental torture because they can create imaginations and stream of thoughts are controlled. Everything is said. And then you hear this purpose, and they describe the purpose the same ways. So before I scream, because I can feel my knees and my joints and everything just kind of like changing and whatever, and it'll be a point where if something breaks, of course I'm going to react and probably scream. I mean, I was surprised if I'm not going to scream, but before that happens, I will make sure, if I'm clear-minded, to speak as much as I can before I can't. And for these people who somebody just say, you molest, try to talk about me as a child and try to exaggerate that, me in middle school, to try to exaggerate that to that level, I'm thankful for the testimonials. Because the person who's talking to me is in a program that sexually tortured children. And she thinks her tone of voice of saying that is going to make me block the reality of things. Do you understand? She's in a program that is sexually torturing even children. I'm sure she's feeling, So for this low life, I don't wish for them to feel bad. I don't care. I just don't want them to think that this is escapism of reality they've created, this falsifier of reality. I don't want them to live in that world. I want them to deal with that feeling that they try to block out all the time. And it's not a feeling of feeling bad. It's a feeling of just knowing that you're trash. You're foul human shit. But it's easy to do what they do, like I said. So many people are involved. This is a governmental program. I mean, a child, literally children can be doing this. For people who are looking for easy win, when it's not even a win, it's just like you implement it. In their mind, they can make it seem like, oh, we're going to win this battle. What battle? We're just going to override his brain, and that's it. That's it. These people, I could have been this. I could be living like them. My brain is being tried to be manipulated. I wish my camera could capture the microphone here. I've listened to this nasty shit talk in the hallway, contracted by these pedophiles. These pedophiles in these agencies. They are loud when they're far, close to me, not because they're scared of me. It's because I'm listening to this BuzzFeed article about why there's so many pedophiles in these agencies. So my target individuals, stay strong. This is a dignified death. Painful maybe, but it's dignified.